Hi, today is August 5th, 2026, and I have a major announcement. On September 1st, I'm releasing my first fiction novel that I've written. I've written other books, but are nonfiction. This one is my first attempt as a fiction novel, and I think it will appeal to many tastes. It's got romance. It's got lots of music, both classical and specifically jazz references. And as you know, I'm a science fiction buff, and this book actually takes place 100 years in the future and is about a musician just out of college who gets his first full-time gig. But where does he get his gig? So today I'm going to read you a little bit of the first chapter. You're going to have to pre-order this book if you want to find out. September 1st, it's the pre-order. If it's past September 1st and you're watching this, you can just go to Amazon, get it. But it's going to cost you about double what it is if you pre-order it if you order it after the pre-order time, which is till the end of this month, it will cost about double for the ebook. And then on September 1st, this will be out. This is a temporary author's edition, which is not for sale. I use this to do my final check of the book, and the formatting and what it looks like, etc., etc. Anyone writing a book should do this. Get your author copy, go through it, see if it looks okay, do any changes before you release the book. So right now, I'm going to read a little bit of the first chapter, just so you get a taste of what this book is about. This is chapter 1. Here we go. One of the oldest and most famous retro New York jazz clubs is the Blue Note Jazz Club. All New York jazz musicians aspire to headline there. The marquee above the Blue Note Jazz Club says, "Now appearing, the Chase Doster Quartet." That's me. I'm leading my quartet that plays classic bebop and cool jazz songs from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's 1940s, 50s, and 60s. It has taken me years to get my foot in the door in the New York jazz scene. Now I'm recognized for my music instead of constantly being reminded of my horrific experience by paparazzi questioning me every time I go outside. My previous gig ended in disaster, and for years I struggled to put that behind me. But that disaster enabled me to move here. That gig caused my first 15 minutes of fame, which was not because of playing music. And I just wanted to move on from it. Those 15 minutes lasted way too long. The goal for most musicians is to play music for a living. And the city was the place to be for all musicians to do this. But I was from a small town, and becoming a musician in New York was only a dream. Now I live in that dream, and my past no longer haunts me. The live music scene here is extremely vibrant. There are clubs that feature every kind of music, from the past and present, and even future experimental music. Concert halls are all sold out to see the stars of the music world. In the summertime, there are outdoor concerts and festivals all around the area. I have taken every type of gig, from classical to country and western, and everything in between. However, performing at the Blue Note with my own jazz quartet has been my dream since I started taking trombone lessons at the age of 10. Most musicians advance to be professional New York musicians by first studying at one of the famous New York music schools, or by working a day job, like McDonald's. Some get known by going to jam sessions, by claiming to be a musical savant, which I'm not, or by being supported by a trust fund because of belonging to a wealthy family. That is not how I got the gig at the Blue Note Jazz Club. My opportunity to relocate to New York and make my life here as a full-time musician came as a result of an event in my life that no one should wish to have for any reason. The traumatic event ended up being lucrative, which helped me relocate to New York and support me while I did get my foot in the door of the local music scene, local music business. Now, like most musicians today, I don't support myself and family solely by playing in clubs. I also teach private lessons, give workshops at high schools and universities, and perform at jazz festivals. Of course, having a two-income family helps, and she makes more money than I do. The elevator on my 20th floor Manhattan apartment opens, and I enter. I am on my way to play at the Blue Note Jazz Club. This building was once full of corporate offices for multi-billion-dollar companies, but that was a long time ago. The reason I know so much about this is from my college history courses. My interest in 21st century history has continued as a hobby after I graduated from college with a minor in the subject. So, if you're interested to see what happens to Chase Doster, what traumatic event happened to Chase Doster, and who his wife is that makes more money than him, or more about his life in general, pre-order the ebook on Amazon. I'll leave a link. If it's after September 1st and you're watching this, of course, just go to Amazon, put my name in, you'll go right to it. And I'll have also this book, the final print of this book. This is just an author copy, which I am just finished editing and have uploaded the changes. And also hardback, if you're interested, only like hardback books, I'll have that an option to sell. But this is, it's not a really long read. A couple days, you can read the whole thing. It's not in extreme scientific language like some science fiction geeky books that just are really difficult to read, with full of weird science stuff that you don't understand. Everything is very understandable in this book, and is also a bit of futurism. So if you read it, don't get scared. It can be really scary because some of the things that in the past that he talks about are extremely frightening, and I am hopeful that they don't happen. Believe me, hopefully they don't happen. So please read this book, especially if you're into futurism. If you're into futurism, read this book. Okay, I'm going to sign off for now. If you want me to read some more of this book, please leave me a message or a note or a comment, and I'll pick up where I left off, and I'll read, or I'll go more towards the middle of the book and read a little bit more about what happens to Chase Doster in this novel. And if you see, if there's a hint, if you can see what's in the window of that, obviously the Love Boat is reference to cruise ships, but that's Mars in the porthole window. So that gives you a big clue as to how he makes a living as a musician to get to New York City. So please help me out. So I'm going to sign off for now.